Okay, so let's take a look at this example. So this one is a little bit different than the other ones in that we're just solving this for x. Okay, so we don't have like two variables, we only have one. So this is a problem where you have this lady Heather and she's trying to decide which job to take. So you have two options, right? You have option number A and option number B. And so what we want to see is what would happen so that these two options for her is like a wash. It doesn't matter which one she takes. So what do we know about option A? Option A pays $20,000 plus $10 for each training session, right? Now, option B would pay, so let's make it a different color. Option B pays $8,600 plus $30 per training session. Okay, that's great, but what is it that we're trying to find? Like, what's X? So, like I said, this is just X here. So you don't have X and Y, so it's just X. Well, in order to figure out what the X, always start at the end. So what's this, the question says, how many training sessions would make the salary equal? So change the word how many to number. So you're just gonna say number of training sessions. That's your X. Okay, now what would be her salary with option A? Well, first of all, it's going to be $20,000. So is that going to depend on how many training sessions? No, that's just going to be, she's going to get that from the get-go. Okay, plus they also pay $10 for each session and we have X sessions. So what should we do? Well, think about that. If you have $10 per session, right? And you have, let's say, 5 sessions, how much money are you going to get? Well, you're going to multiply these, right? 10 times 5, that's going to be 50. Okay. If you have $10 per session and you have X sessions, how much money will you going to get? 10x, because you multiply them. All right. So that's going to be over here. That's 10x. Okay. So now with option B should be pretty easy to then understand what happens. So this is going to be just 8,600. So that's what they pay her up front. And then $30 she gets for each session. I'm sorry. So that would be 30x. Okay. Now we know that these two options should be the same. So we're going to make them equal each other. Okay. So we're going to take 20,000 plus 10x, and we're going to make it equal to 8,600 plus 30x. Okay, so how would you solve this? Okay, so you can solve this, well, you guess you can try to solve it using Desmos. It's going to be kind of hard though. Okay, I guess I can try to show it to you. I don't know. What you'd have to do is you'd have to make them like each equal to y. And then you have to also make the other one equal to y. Y is, let's say, your total salary. And then once you type them, you have to try to figure out like where do these intersect. So you have to like zoom on them, right? Hey, man, I don't even know because you want them to be the same. Because of the 20,000, that's why I can't really see it because of my Y scale. You see? Oh my God, these lines is crazy. You see this? Okay, so now I see it because the amount is so large, right? I couldn't see it before, but like I had to really zoom. And there is my intersection. So my X is 570 and Y is that's like the salary that she would get either way. So basically X is 570 and that's what you want. Now, if let's say you don't have this wonderful software like Desmos, or let's say you just have your calculator, your poor calculator, and that's it, how would you solve something like that? Well, first of all, you would want to isolate the X terms, but there are two X terms here, right? So I just want to have the X terms on one side. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 10X from both sides. And what is that going to do? That's going to get rid of 10x on the left. And the reason I'm not subtracting 30x because I don't like negatives. So if I subtract 10x, x will stay on the right hand side, but that's okay. It's not a problem. Okay, so 30 minus 10, that's like 30x minus 10x. So it's like 30 sessions minus 10 sessions. Well, that would be 20 sessions. And that's equal to 20,000, right? Okay. The next step is to subtract 8,600 from both sides. Okay, so that you actually have to use a calculator unless you want to do this in your head, which I don't recommend. Okay, so I get 11,400 for that. Okay, probably could have done it in my head, but whatever. Okay, so that's equal to 20x. Now remember, this is multiplication here, so I would have to divide both sides by 20 to solve. So if I take this 11,400 and divide it by 20, I get 570s, right? So I was able to solve it without Desmos by just using some algebra, but Desmos is cooler. What can I say?